Morning. Welcome to the DunnWisdom Morning Show. My name is Melissa Dunn. I am the CEO of MD Marketing Network and the founder of this DunnWisdom movement. Here at the show, we pride ourselves on creating an opportunity for you to meet entrepreneurs, professionals, and community leaders who are getting it done in their community and in their families. So today I'm going to introduce you to one of our sisters from the North, Dr. Nicole Sergeant. Hey, Dr. Sergeant, come on
Hey,
in.
how are you guys doing today? Happy Monday. Happy Monday.
Happy Monday indeed. So where are you coming from? You're in the DC area, is that right?
Correct. I actually live in Maryland and I work in DC. So, yeah.
Oh, fantastic. So, Dr. Sargent, I see that you have a clothing line,
Yes.
but the clothing line is geared specifically towards medical professionals. How interesting. Tell me a little bit about it.
Well, the name of my medical scrub line is called Morgan Taylor Scrubs, and I have created it to fit the curves and to cover women with curve sizes extra small to 2XL, and we are going up to 4X, so 3X and 4X is coming out. I've worked in the medical field for over 15 years, and I wore scrubs that this didn't fit well and didn't complement my figure since I am a tall girl and I have curves, and I was like, this is not working for me. I was able to find scrubs to give me one or two things that I wanted, but could never find a pair of scrubs that actually worked for me. So I decided to create scrubs for women with curves, and they're amazing and they're comfortable and they're cute.
Oh, I like that. Man, I should have asked you to bring some photos so we could see what they look like.
I am sorry.
Yeah, no worries at all. Yeah, so I actually am in the medical industry as well. Actually, I am a trained healthcare administrator and I specialize in healthcare marketing. And I've been on a couple of medical missions where I had to wear scrubs, and let me tell you, it is definitely not covering the booty properly, especially when you have thick thighs. It doesn't work. So congratulations on fulfilling a pain point.
Thank you. I've made adjustments in the breast area so it's more comfortable in the breast area and also in the hip area, so it's more accommodating to your curves. I've also made the waistband a little bit higher so when you bend over, you don't see the crack of your bottom, and they actually stay in place all day and they complement your figure. They're also antimicrobial, which limits the amount of bugs you bring home. They're moisture repelling and wrinkle resistant. And I have 3 colors right now and more colors to come. They come in navy blue, purple, and in white. And I have 6 other colors that I will be rolling out as time goes because I've been getting nothing but requests, and it's coming, coming.
Well, I really want to see these now. Maybe our technical producer, Natasha the Butterfly Wright, can see if she can pull some up from your website.
Sure.
So that before the show is over with, we can share it with our viewers. I'd love to have them see what it looks like. So, hey, I saw Miss Joy was watching earlier. Good morning, Joy. Thank you for saying good morning. And as always, blessings to you. Thank you for joining us, Toya. Good morning. Good morning. Hey, Miss Tracy. Yes. Thank you for introducing us, Tracy.
Hi, Nicole.
Good morning, Nicole. Hi. Thank you for watching. All right. Thank you for watching.
Thank you for watching.
All right.
So the website is www.morgantaylorscrubs.com. Not sure if she was having a little difficulty finding that, but just wanted to throw that.
No, she's got it. She's got it. We're gonna let's talk a little bit about what inspired you. I know you mentioned that you worked in the medical industry. Are you a trained nurse?
I'm a physical therapist. I actually have my doctorate in physical therapy. And I have to wear scrubs every single day. And since I've never liked the way scrubs fit me, I just decided to, why not create my own. I was actually having a conversation with my mom before she passed that I was telling her what my issue was. And she was like, well, why don't you create your own? I was like, Ma, you're right. I should create my own. And so I decided to do that. I actually worked in retail for 7 years before I even got into the medical field. And I was like, God, why am I here? I really did not like working in retail because it was long hours. And I just feel like it wasn't what I was supposed to do on my calling. So I see why God had me there. because it's actually a plus and a win-win for me. And I'm able to use that time in my life to help me with where I am right now and where God has me going. So I'm truly grateful for that.
That's a really interesting stories, because I think there are a lot of young women right now who are perhaps working in an industry and maybe it's not in their major, maybe it's not in the field that they went to school for. And you never know when that knowledge that you're gaining is going to turn around and turn into a positive business idea.
Right.
What advice would you give to your younger self if you could talk to her as she worked in the retail store?
I would have said, hey, it's only for right now. You don't know what's to come. Just enjoy yourself and just have fun while you're doing it. Because there was times that I I just didn't want to be there. And it's understandable, because if you're in a situation that you're not happy about, or, you know, you're not really liking it, you know, you tend to not do or be fully there. I would say to myself, enjoy it. This is not where you're going to end up. You're going to go somewhere big.
Yeah, that's such a powerful statement. I think that's why it's so important for us to always do our best. I mean, we all remember that quote from Dr. King, encouraging us to be the best street sweeper we can be, if that's the position we find ourselves in, because you really never know when it's going to turn into your breakthrough idea.
Exactly. You never really know.
So you worked into retail. What inspired you to go into the medical field?
So it was one day, since I'm from Brooklyn, New York, I was actually at the bus stop waiting to get on the bus. And I was literally talking to God. I'm like, God, look, I really don't know what you want me to do, because I'm really not liking working in retail. I don't think this is my calling. What is it that you want me to do? So when I was a teenager, I used to work in the hospital where I used to volunteer. It was called Summer Youth. And at the point in time, I didn't know where I wanted to go. And the young lady who was in charge of placing all of us, she asked me where I want to go. And I said, place me anywhere. So she put me in physical therapy. And I loved it. And not to talk too much about the patient that inspired me, there was a patient that was unable to walk, and I was his cheerleader and helping him out. And I actually loved going to work when I was doing Summer Youth. And when I was at the bus stop, this same patient walked up to me at the bus stop, and I started crying. And I was like, light bulb. I'm like, this is what I'm supposed to do. And he was like, Nicole, you need to go back to school to be a physical therapist, because this is your calling. You got me to walk, and I always wanted to say thank you. And that was my light bulb moment. And physical therapy is what I went to do.
Wow, I'm getting goosebumps. What a powerful story. Yeah. What a powerful story. Jack says, awesome.
Hi, Jack.
Wow. How do you see? So I really believe that God puts people in our life for a reason and a season. Mm-hmm. And clearly you were in that patient's life at the time when they needed you the most. And then when you needed a word, when you needed guidance, when you needed inspiration, that same patient came up into your life on your path and was the answer for the question that you were asking God about.
Yes. And I do believe that God does that with everybody. He orchestrates our life. And we need to be open to what that is. And in order for you to hear him, you need to have a relationship with him. And I think that throughout my life, God has placed and orchestrated people to help me to where I need to be. There's times that I wanted to give up. I should say times. Plenty of times I wanted to give up. This night where I cried. And I've always had the people to pray for me, to call me, to encourage me, to help me. And I still believe that these people are on my journey. And I'm truly grateful for that, truly, because I don't know what God is doing in my life. I do know it's something big. I just don't know what that is. And I could just feel it in my stomach. I'm eager and excited to see what's to come.
Well, I believe that we're all destined for greatness. I believe that there is a divine purpose for all of our lives. And when we are still enough, sometimes we can get a glimpse of what that purpose is. And when we surrender, the path just becomes clear.
it's so funny you said surrender, because throughout this whole COVID epidemic, and it was been really hard for me, especially going to work. There's times that I would go to work and I'm literally in the car crying and, like, God, I don't want to go to, like, what's going on here? I'm scared, all of these emotions. And one day I was meditating and he said, you need to surrender, because I think we all try to control what we want to happen and how it's supposed to happen and how we want it to look. And that is the word that I received, is to surrender. And once I was able to surrender to things that I wanted to happen in my personal life at that point in time, not happening when I wanted it, I just surrendered. And it's a lot easier to accept where I am right now and where we all are. And I think that's where it's making it a little bit difficult for everybody. Accept the fact that, yes, we are in a situation that we're not used to and we may not like, but if you accept it, I think it makes the transition a little bit easier.
Amen. Surrender and acceptance. Those are two powerful words that I believe are essential ingredients for success. So Martina says, you inspire so many people, you just don't know it yet.
Hey, Martina.
I agree, Martina, for sure. So you went in, and then Nicole says, what inspired your current scrub design? It's functional, but it's flattering too. What inspired the design? Good question, Nicole.
Thank you for that question, Nicole. The fit. I didn't like the fit of other scrubs. I felt that I looked clunky. I felt like I looked like I was just wearing a box. I felt not appealing. And I do believe if you have on something that makes you feel good, and also if you know that you look good, you are actually going to treat your patients the way they deserve to be treated. And that's what really inspired me to do this. And I will continue to design, like I didn't mention, but there is another design coming out for the women's line. It's going to be a t-shirt and a jogger pants, and I'm coming out with a men's line. And I've also designed 2 lab jackets for women's and a men's jacket. And I'm excited to roll all of those out. And we're coming out with more colors, and we're going up to 4X. So it's going to be 3X and 4X. But that inspired me. I disliked seeing people in the hospital who just didn't look presentable. And, when you bend down, you see the crack of your bottom. It's just not professional, and it's embarrassing. So that's the reason why I did what I did.
That's amazing. So you were inspired to go back to school. You became a physical therapist. How long were you working in the field before you made the decision to start your business?
So I started designing and this process about over 10 years ago. And I was already working in the field about 3 years by that time, if not a little bit longer. And I decided to start working on it. And during that time, my mom and my father actually got sick with cancer. And it was really hard for me to focus and, taking time to take off from work to take care of my mom, who was in Tampa at the time. And every time I wouldn't do something, I would get this little voice, or God would say to me, get up and do something. Just do something towards your goal, something. And I'm grateful that I have friends who actually pushed me to stay focused, because that was a hard time. After burying my mom, I was in the lowest place that I could ever be, and I'm getting emotional about it. But after a year of my mom passing is when I actually signed up to do my LLC. And that's when I kept pushing and I kept pushing. And I do believe that you can do anything. Everything is possible, no matter what it may look like. You can do anything. And you just have to dig down deep inside and just realize and always remember, why are you doing what you're doing? Why are you doing it? And when you always go back to your why, you'll be okay. You'll be on point, and you'll be able to do what you need to do.
Can I tell you, your mom is cheering you on right now. Every step that you take, every move that you make, every life that you touch, she is cheering you on, and perhaps even clearing the path for you to be successful. Because I believe that entrepreneurship is one of the surefire ways to create Black wealth.
I agree.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you for that comment, Monique. Yes, Tracy is saying. And then Jack, oh, let me put on my glasses. Oh, that's so much better. Jack says, you're so strong. We love you.
Thank you. Love you too.
And Trey says, yes, she is.
Oh.
Nicole says, why? Yes, your why is so, so powerful.
Yes.
Yeah, I believe that, Martina. I do believe that her mom is proud of her. Yes, Dr. Nikki, for sure.
Thank you.
For sure. So, what was it like? I mean, launching a clothing line is not as simple or as easy as people might think. Early in my career, a lot of people don't know this about me, but very early in my career, I actually worked at Calvin Klein Jeans and Warnaco. I was in charge of Warnaco's logistics for all of their operations in New York City. For Chaps by Ralph Lauren, Calvin Klein underwear, Olga swimwear. So I 100% get how difficult it is to find a manufacturer, get your right pattern makers to bring a clothing line to market. It is not easy. So let me just tell you, congratulations. And you did that while you work full-time as a physical therapist, yes?
And I still work full-time as a physical therapist.
Fantastic. So how did you go about finding the right manufacturing partner?
I went through a whole bunch of no's. How about that? I originally, it was very difficult at the time because right now I believe there's a website called Maker's Row that actually gives people the access to find manufacturers. At the time when I was looking, it was impossible. It was difficult. Googling manufacturers, it was really hard to find anybody. And if you did find somebody, the price to manufacture it was extremely expensive and it was difficult. I went through many years of sampling, buying a whole bunch of fabric, washing, trying on everything. And I believe everything happens for a reason. I've been through so many manufacturers because, as you know, working in this business is not easy. You need to have actually more than one manufacturer. But when you find that manufacturing company that works with you, hold on to them. Because it's very hard to find a manufacturing company who actually speaks your language, who actually accommodates you and treats you the way you deserve to be treated. And I say it's possible. It may not be easy, but it's doable.
Everything is doable and everything is possible. Tracy says, scrubs are always thought of as a medical wear, but you have marketed to other professions. Functional clothing is utilized in many businesses. Oh, so medical profession is not your only target market?
So Tracy's bringing up something that I think I mentioned it to her, but I might venture out into other things when it comes to scrubs. I just haven't decided what that is yet. But right now, we're coming out with the men's line, a couple of items for the women's and the lab jackets. And eventually I'm going to do maternity and we'll take it from there and see what happens. But yes, I do see this growing and being much different than what it is right now.
The sky is the limit. I actually want you to come back on.
I would love to.
And perhaps maybe we can do like a fashion show. I think it's important for us to see the line. Yes. Martha is saying, what does the butterfly logo symbolize?
Martina, great question. So there's 2 points in my life that really stands out for me. And one is I had went on a trip to Essence Music Festival one year with all my girlfriends, and we went on the alligator boat ride. And I'm very fearful of bugs. I don't do well with them at all. So to give you an example, we were on the boat and a dragonfly kept bothering me. Now, mind you, this boat has 20 people in there and it's just bothering me. And it kept landing on me, kept landing and kept bothering me. And I literally got up to jump out the boat and they were like, no, you're going to jump in the water with the alligators. I was like, oh my God.
It's between the alligator and the dragonfly.
Yes, I was like, alligator, dragonfly. So I decided to sit my behind down. So my
Mm.
best friend Adrian was like, Nikki, just let it land on you. Look how beautiful it is and just look at it. So I did that. Another time in my life that stood out for me is at my mom's funeral. When they were lowering my mom's casket into the ground, I was going berserko, and they thought it was because I was trying to jump in there and because I was, grieving. No,
Right.
it was a dragonfly that was attacking me. And I'm like, y'all don't see this dragonfly? Like, what is wrong with y'all people? So this dragonfly kept flying at me and attacking me and doing all these things to me. And I literally almost fell down into where my mom was being lowered. All that to say, when it came to me deciding what that logo was, I'm like, God, I don't know what this is going to look like. I need some help, right? Dragonfly came into my head. I looked up the meaning of a dragonfly, and it meant grace. It meant change. It meant beauty. It meant all of the things that I wanted my scrub line to mean and to represent. And that is the reason why I have a dragonfly as my logo for my scrub line.
Wow, that is so beautiful. I can tell you, as a marketer, I can 100% appreciate the symbolism. And it sounds to me like it also represents you being still enough to dig into the courage that's already yours, for you to be still enough so that you can hear God's voice and to really step out on faith.
Yes. And my sister says, Mom is always with you, sis. She is proud of you just as I am. We love, oh my God, don't let me start crying. So just a quick thing where I came up with the title Morgan Taylor Scrubs. The name of my LLC is Freckled LLC because you can see I have freckles, but do business as Morgan Taylor Scrubs. So my grandmother's from Jamaica, and her maiden name is, and I've always wanted to name my first baby Morgan Taylor. And since I don't have any kids as yet, I decided to name my scrub line Morgan Taylor Scrubs because it is my first baby. And it means a whole lot to me. And I also wanted it to be a unisex name because, like I said, I always said I was going to come up with a men's line, which is coming soon. And I didn't want to call it Freckled Scrubs because I thought freckled felt or sounded kind of feminine. So I came up with calling it Morgan Taylor Scrubs, and that's the reason why I called it Morgan Taylor Scrubs, named after my grandmother from Jamaica.
Here's the thing. That name Morgan Taylor lends itself well to anywhere, any direction that you may choose to go in the fashion industry. If you decide later on to go into sportswear, or if you decide later on to go into even in menswear as a whole,
right, you
certainly can. Just drop the scrubs.
Right.
Part of it. So that's really powerful. Jasmine says, beautiful testimony. I 100% agree. Proud of you, love.
Thank you, Buzz. Thank you. Thank you, Jasmine.
Tracy, let me see Tracy's question again. How did you determine the name? Okay, we talked about the name of the company. All right, perfect. Beautiful testimony. When the going gets tough, your entrepreneurial pursuit, what do you do for self-care? That's a great question, Nikki. Thank you for asking.
Nicole. Thank you for asking that question. So what I do is I meditate every single morning, and I take time to be still. I also run, and I lift weights, and I do Peloton classes in the house, and also run on the treadmill. And I actually started jump rope. They say that that's supposed to be really good for you. And I actually ran a little bit last night. I did some hills, and I did some jump rope. And this morning, another thing that I always do before I get in the shower, I'm actually in a contest with my boyfriend. We always do push-ups and sit-ups before we get in the shower. We can't get in the shower until we do that. So that's another thing that I've added to my list. But one thing I can say, it's been extremely difficult during this time because of COVID. It could be a little depressing, and sometimes you got to really dig deep. And I don't want to do it sometimes. And I'm gonna be honest with you. I do know, and we all know, that when you finally do it, you do feel better. But it's extra hard to really push yourself during this time. It's really hard. And that's where your friends and family come in. And I know that I am that for some people. And I do know that, and I'm grateful for those who are that for me. So that's what I do.
You and I have a lot in common. First of all, Meditation, I do. Journaling, I do. I'm actually up at 4 a.m. I did 7 miles before I got on the show this
I love it.
morning.
I love it.
But you know what? That's such a good idea to do the push-ups and the sit-ups before you get into the shower. Maybe I'll add that to my routine.
Add that. And my friend Nicole, who's on here, thank you for being here, my love. She actually encouraged me to start journaling. So that is on my agenda today. I'm starting that today. And we don't know where that journaling
that's a part of my practice too. And you know, in my journaling, I've actually tried something of late that has been so beautiful for me. Is after I do my meditation and I'm at the place where my mind is still enough. I mean, your mind is never 100% still, but where it's at the point where I feel calm and I feel centered and aligned, then I ask a question. And I just sit with my journal and my pen. And then whatever thoughts come to mind after I ask the question, I just start writing.
I'm gonna do
just
that.
Start writing. It's a technique that I learned from Reverend Dr. Michael Beckwith. Is part of his visioning exercise. If you do like that whole meditation that he has, he gives you a point where you ask a powerful question and you wait for an answer. For me, I just decide to journal whatever it is that I hear, whatever comes to me, and I cannot tell you how many campaigns came to me through that inspiration. Yeah, it's a real, for me, whenever I'm 100% still and I want to know something, I ask and I get the answers.
I'm gonna try that.
So when do you, so Cynthia says, such a wonderful presentation, so proud of you. You are clearly well loved. Nicole says, what has a pandemic inspired you on the future direction of your line? Where would you like to see your line branch to?
So currently I'm only selling in the United States. I would definitely love to go worldwide eventually.
Wait, I'm sorry. You have a retail store. You're selling, it's e-commerce, right?
E-commerce. Everything is
100% e-commerce.
E-commerce. I've actually been asked about doing a storefront, and I'm veering away from it, but I'm open to what can happen in the future. I really
now is not the time to do storefronts, in my opinion.
It definitely wouldn't be now, but I have been asked about storefronts, and I'm like, not right now. I do see that happening, and like I mentioned before, men's line coming out, more additional women's stuff, and maternity, a line coming out as well, and definitely lab jackets. Looking to seal contracts with hospitals.
Got it. So your distribution now, is primarily through e-commerce.
Yes.
Are you in any retail stores? Because I know that there are some folks that have medical supply stores that sell scrubs. Not yet?
No, that's not something that I've thought about. I'm open to it, but I want everybody needs to come through Morgan Taylor Scrubs to purchase scrubs at this point in time.
Okay, I'm going to connect you when we get off. Stay on. I'm going to connect you. I have a friend of mine. I believe she works in a retail store that sells scrubs. She might be helpful for you to talk to understand how that market works.
Perfect.
And perhaps how you can have a retail presence. I mean, people go somewhere to purchase their scrubs. In fact, in the neighboring town where I live, I believe that there's a store that sells scrubs. So maybe that's something for you to look into.
Okay.
And kind of figure out what your distribution systems could look like.
Yeah.
Well, I am 100% intrigued, Dr. Nikki. I wish you a lot of luck. I do want to invite you back on. We'll schedule a time so that perhaps you can show us what you got. Show the clothes off a little bit.
Natasha wrote that she has the website up.
Oh, yeah, Natasha, let's see it.
Yeah, so she says she has the website up.
Okay. All right. Oh, that's cute. There's a dragonfly. Yes, honey. Look at the curves. Okay, that's super cute.
Thank you. Thank you.
I really love that cut.
Thank you. Thank you.
Okay, and it comes in a lot of different colors.
It comes in navy blue, white, and purple right now, and we will be coming out with more colors since everybody has been asking, oh, we need this color. We can't wear that color. We need this color. So, yes.
Got it. Yeah, that's really cute.
Thank you. Thank you.
You know, I can see where doing a maternal line would be a really good natural progression for your women's wear.
Yes. 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 It's coming. It's coming. It's coming.
All right. Well, I love it. Thank you, Natasha. Thank you for giving us an opportunity to see it.
Thank you, Natasha.
So, listen, I really want to wish you the best.
Thank you.
As you, what words of wisdom do you have to offer? Perhaps there's a woman now who's thinking about going for it, but it's a little bit shy or a little bit uncertain. What advice would you give her?
The advice I would give her, I think, is one of the videos I posted the other day, because I do inspirational quotes every week that I like to post up there because I think it can help somebody out there. And I believe one of the quotes that I put up there was, if you can't stop thinking about it, you need to do it. So if it's always coming up in your spirit and something is always giving you a sign showing you that this is what you need to do, do it. Do it. Do it, do it, no matter how scared you are, no matter if you know how it's going to happen. That's not for you to figure out. Just take that step and you'll be just fine.
I love it. Well, thank you for joining us, Dr. Nikki. I wish you a lot of luck with your new line. Monique says, it looks amazing. Yeah, Monique, I really like the line very much. I love the cut. Networking women, uplifting women. Yes. Yes. Amazing show, Melissa. And thank you so much, Candace. I appreciate it. I love that you love the show. And Jay says, all the best to you all. I'm doing ocean aerobics at the moment. All right, girl. Enjoy. Ocean aerobics. That sounds really interesting.
I like to travel and I'm not at the ocean and I really need to be there. But
well, if you ever come to South Florida, look us up, come and visit us in Lauderhill, and you know,
yes.
The beach is only 15 minutes away, girl.
Love it. Soon come. Soon come.
All right, you don't know.
Yeah.
Okay, Dr. Nikki, thank you so much for joining us. Best of luck to you.
Thank you so much.
My pleasure.
Bye-bye.
Thank you guys for joining us for this episode of the DunnWisdom Morning Show. That was really an inspiring and uplifting conversation, I think. If you're in the medical field, do check out Dr. Nikki's website. We placed it already in the caption. And I'll see you back here tomorrow morning for another wonderful conversation with another woman who's getting it done. My name is Melissa Dunn again, and I encourage you and remind you to be kind and loving with yourself. You deserve it. Be well.